Hello and welcome to Elite Dangerous My Adventures. This is a mini series underneath My Adventures where we go around to each station within the Sol system. We have just finished with Columbus, and we will find our next target in just a moment. If you would scroll down just a little and look to the right, you'll see a subscribe button. It's a red and white button, and it's not a premium service. It doesn't cost you anything. It's the free version, and it just shows your approval for my channel. And to just under the video to the left, you'll see that my channel name, GFM_RDG. If you'll click that and go down to the playlist that says Elite Dangerous My Adventures, but next to it says Play All. So you would press that and watch as much as you can, and hopefully I keep it entertaining. Okay. So, it's just left. See where we're going. Some of these are mercenary camps, so we're not going to mercenary camps, because I don't do mercenary. For one, I'm not a combat pilot. Okay. Schottky Reformatory. A planetary port offers safe harbor and a series of services to pilots. It's run by the Sol Nationalist. Its colony and relationship to me is neutral. It has appropriate landing pads. The area is known for trading and smuggling. So that'll be the next landing. It is planetary. So we'll be landing on a planet to the station. It says left. So let's get started on continuing our adventure.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. Clear for egress.
Checking the record to make sure we were recording. I've done that before. So it's a good idea to check recordings. And I have done some things to help with the tracking on my Oculus Rift S.
Scan detected.
And so now we're just trying to get outside of the boundary of the station. It's about 8 to 10 kilometers. And they'll release us so we can get into Super Cruise. Yeah, I said hyperspace on one of the last videos when I edited the video. Like, why not say hyperspace? Within a system, yes, you can get into hyperspace if you're going to another system, but it is Super Cruise to go within a system.
Way ahead is clear.
Our temperature is 39%, which is good. I like to keep it under 44%.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And we don't have too far to go. As you see, it's only 6.5 light seconds. As soon as Super Cruise speeds up, we'll be able to get there quicker. As you see, the speed on the back of the sensor is increasing. When you first start out in Super Cruise, from being outside of Super Cruise, it takes a little bit to generate speed. Now we're getting under a minute, so we slow it down just slightly. At this speed, what our ETA is, so we kind of moderate that. It is a Planetary, so I will not be using Super Cruise Assist. We watch the yellow ring, orange or yellow, it's kind of between ring, to see where the station actually is at on the planet, if it's on this side or the other side. It's on the other side, toward the bottom of our perspective. So we're starting to come into view of where the station is. The grid is from a previous scan of the planet. As we get closer to the planet, that will go away. It just says that this has been scanned and the information is in the system map. Trying to get my glide plane or glide slope kind of set. As my on-screen gauges start to populate, that blue ring up there, if you can see it, means we can land
Orbital flight engaged.
on the planet, or it's permitted that we land on the planet. Cis night. Trying to get my on-screen gauges lined up at 150 kilometers around or underneath 30 kilometers. We'll drop out most of the time we'll drop out of Super Cruise, sometimes before, sometimes it tries after, and by around 25 I exit Super Cruise for it. Okay, we're exiting at 60. Hopefully we get a glide plane, and we do. Now we're gliding in. Hopefully we get down to about 15 kilometers, 10 to 15 before it drops out. Or we drop it out. Yeah, it's going to drop out on its own. Okay. Schottky Reformatory.
The Federation welcomes you. Follow port protocols and enjoy your visit, Commander.
Cis left. Cis left.
Permission authorized. You are clear for approach to pad 05. Docking assist enabled. Approach is clear.
If we
Landing gear deployed.
If we build our reputation back to Allied, they treat you much different. We'll need to do that because I've been doing videos. I haven't been running missions as often. And your reputation drops
Landing successful. Ship secured.
a little bit per day that you don't run missions. And I fuel and I do advanced maintenance every time that I come into a station. Okay, if you would, if you visit my Mars High station, I go into more detail. Since then, I just do a cursory or an overview of each of the station and their services. But there's 2 videos for Mars High, a main one, and I had to do a shipyard addendum. So watch both of those. So just put in Mars High underneath my channel of GFM_RDG and watch that video first. Or as soon as you watch this one, go over there and watch that one. And you get a little more detail for each of the services. Base services are the same. There could be some minor differences. Okay, the commodities market. They don't have much for you to buy, but like for an example, the hydrogen fuel, it's hard for me to believe that the galactic average is 10 credits for hydrogen fuel. That sounds low. Here it's 98. Bio-waste, if you were trading commodities, you could buy some at 78 where the galactic average is 260. So you could turn a profit there. Selling, if you have these, agronomic treatment, I think it has to do possibly with some kind of algae treatment. The galactic average is 310. Here you could sell them for 35.19, so you can make over 10 times your money, for an example. Or like consumer technology, the galactic average is 690. If you have some, you can make almost 7,500 credits, so it's over 10 times. So you could buy and sell on the commodities market and make profits there. And there's sites like anera.cz, and there's a few others that you can look up commodity prices. It's where to buy and where to sell. Missions board has all kinds of missions. You can come up and filter by illegal mission, or legal missions, illegal missions, combat, transport, and aid. I usually do transport myself, and that's how I've gotten most of my 5 billion in, as you see up there under my Commander R. Giles, 5.043 billion, and that's how I did most of it. And I have done 2 missions videos. One, if you'll go to my channel, GFM_RDG, and you'll put into the search interdictions, or 6 interdictions, it'll bring up my first video, and that's in the cutter, one of the largest ships, if not the largest ship, and running missions, and I make up to 22 million in a single 15-20 minute run, and that's how I probably made most of that. And then there's one on missions from Sothis to Ceos, where I took 4 transport missions, paid right at 12 million here in the Python, and with almost 280 units. And so you might want to watch those two. It's how to do missions. But here, we'll look at some of their missions, like an internal report delivery. We'll pay 52,000 or almost 53,000. Now, one thing about like the report deliveries and the couriers, it is data. So if you die, you don't lose it, you don't get fined, all of that. So those are safe missions, but they don't pay as much. Donations help because in the future they will post 2 to 3 unit missions for close to a million credits because you donated to them. So that works out pretty good. There's a lot of combat missions. Now these planetary scan missions, I haven't done many of those. I usually do the surface scanning of metal content, water worlds, and Earth-like planets where they pay over 800,000 per planet that you scan. And you can do multiple planets within a system. Usually before I get too bored, I can do 25 million credits worth and bring it back to a station and sell it to the Universal Cartographics. Now the problem with that is if you die before you sell it, you lose it. So that's down here at Universal Cartographics, and it just checks to see if you have any that can be sold. You have to be 25 light years from where you scan to where you can sell. So make sure that you get to a station that's at least 25 light years from where you are collecting. Passenger lounge. Your ship has to be fitted with passenger compartments. You'll take care of that in outfitting. That inera.cz website also, you could look up the outfitting for passenger, and it'll tell you the nearest station where you can purchase those and at what classes, like from 1 up to, like this ship and its optional modules, I can go up to a 6 class and as low as a 1 class. My cutter goes up to an 8 class. Okay, contacts, this can change per station. The authority contact, this is where you pay fines and collect claims. I have a claim, sys left, I have one left from some encoding. Sys left. I have a claim for 15,000 credits for a data point. Believe that's when we were out scanning or out running around on the planets, and we came across a drone that was crashed and had a public data point on it. And I believe that's where that came from. Sys left. Sys left. Combat bonds, if the system was in a war situation, then you could buy combat bonds. Search and rescue, while we were running around on the planet, we saw some occupied escape pods and some personal effects. So we could bring those back and turn them in here. Black market, if you run illegal cargo. And I don't run illegal cargo, but you can if that's what you would like to do. And you got that heart of a pirate, I guess. And the black market. And some have material traders, some have technology people that you can trade in technology. Crew lounge, as you can see, I have a second seat. I could hire a crew member to either fly the plane or fly the ship or to run the weapons. Okay. A remote workshop is to work with the engineers. You can pin their blueprints. I had transferred my shield boosters over to my cutter and picked up new shield boosters, and this one I haven't completely modded yet, so it's still a little over a grade 2. I can go through a grade 3, but you see I need some distorted shield cycle recordings, and those are encoded, and a hybrid capacitors which are manufactured. The Neo Boom is raw materials. So if I go to the material traders and up the first two, I could go ahead and finish out the shield booster, and I need to do that to remember the next time I'm at the material traders, which is often. I can trade some of my materials for those two. Outfitting. This is where you upgrade the modules on your ship. And some hangars, my Python looks better than others with that cobalt color. It reflects light when you're out on a planet. Check out my video, My Python. It's at Dav's Hope, and it's on the planet. And I'm in SRV taking the video, and it looks really good there. And like Mercury, when I dismissed the ship after I got in the SRV, and all the other moons and planets that we landed on, you can see the Python with the cobalt. Down in livery, or livery, however they say that, it's the paint jobs, the fins that I have on the side, the spoiler I have on the back, the text characters like the RG Python that you see there, the elite sticker on the front, and on the sides. You get that from there. As you can tell, I have no weapons. The hard points, you can see what they carry. They carry lasers, cannons, missiles, rail guns, torpedoes. So you can load it up. Utility mounts, that's where the boosters and the heat sinks are. I carry heat sinks because there's times where the ship tries to overheat. If you lose a interdiction and get kicked out of supercruise and they start shooting thermal like lasers at you, your ship will heat up. Well, you can't get back into supercruise to get away from them, so you can use the heat sinks to cool your ship enough that you can get back into supercruise. Now when that happens, you go max speed and you boost as often as you can to get away from them long enough that you can get back into supercruise. Shield boosters help with the boosting, and the boosters are the shields, not the boosters, the shields. And you have a shield generator, and in my cutter I even have shield banks that help with shields and replenishing your shields. Like when I belly flopped on one of the videos in the ship, the shields held up, and I hit the planet pretty hard, but it didn't damage the ship. It's because of the shields. And the core internals, you'll see that little nut next to the names. and that means it's been engineering modded. I try to mod as much as I can. I believe I've maxed out, except for that one shield booster, of what I can do since I'm not a combat pilot. The optional internals, I have a 6A fuel scoop. Now that's 28 million for that, but it at some place, well, in the browse shop, it will talk about that. Fuel scoops. It scoop rate is 0.88 tons per second. That's why you pay that. This one is 0.49, so mine will do about twice as much, but it costs 10 times as much. So I'm not saying it's necessary to use up a Class C position, but it fuel scoop pretty quickly when I'm out exploring. And as we saw there, this is a auto field maintenance unit. Like if you're traveling out to Colonia, which is 22,000 light years away and like 850 jumps, even in the Python, it takes a lot of time and it takes away from the integrity of your ship. So this would help fix that, especially if you went with like a Class 6 unit, or if you were doing neutron jumps. It's a neutron star jump, and that does take away from the integrity of your ship. Now cargo racks, they only carry a Class 1. You can tell by that dot. That's like 2 units. My Class 6 will hold 64 units. So I usually like to maximize the units for the cargo racks. Fuel tanks, I have 4 fuel tanks on board. That's partly why my jump max is 40.65, where normally it's like 44.5. So it's taking away about 4 light years having 3 additional fuel tanks. Planetary hangars, that's the for the SRVs. And I have 2 of these, 2 Class 6s, so I have 8 SRVs on board. The prospecting limpids and the refineries are for asteroid mining. Repair limpids you can use to help repair your ship. Shield generators. I have a Class 3 shield generator, but it's modded. So it's modded for lightweight and power. So I can get by with a Class 3 shield generator. Surface scanners use this to scan planets and rings. And with the Road to Riches website, it will tell you where the metal content and water world and Earth-like planets are, and then you scan them with the surface scanner. The fuel tanks, the surface scanner, my 3A shield generator, the docking, computer, Super Cruise, Assist, and Planetary Approach Suite. As you see, my balance is 5.043 billion. If I crash the ship and died, when I respawn, it would cost 4.6 the way I have it outfitted right now to replace the ship. So it's kind of the deductible. Talked about the library, the stored modules. I have quite a few engineer modded modules out there at different stations, and the 100 credits is to transfer it to this station, which would take an hour and a half to get it here. So I can come back. It's at Cios right now, where this one is Rada Desra, which is the founder's system. All of the modules and ships that you buy there are 10% off. So that's kind of a good, cool place to buy things. That's where a lot of my stuff is. So it tells me where it is and how long it would take to get it back here. Like a collector Olympic controller cost 190 credits to transfer it and 27 minutes. And tells me up there where it's at. This Gundry, they're 15, all the ships and modules there are 15% off. So I want to do a video on those two systems. This Rata Desra and Gundry. So I want to do videos on those. Okay. Shipyard, don't want to forget that. They have 9 ships for sale. They have a Sidewinder, an Eagle, a Hauler, Adder, Viper, Diamondback Scout, Diamondback Explorer, Vulture, Fed Dropship. So those are the ships that they have that you can buy. Now you'll pay probably full price here. Like I said, there's those 2 stations where you can get a discount on your modules and your ships. And rewind and find out where what the system name is. Go to inera.cz, or you can go over to your sysleft. You can go into the galaxy map and put in that station, those systems, and it will tell you how many jumps it'll take to get there. Sysleft. Okay, I think we went a cursory overview of all their services. Again, go to Mars High, and that'll give you more details than I gave you here. So until next time, our next video of where we're going from here, please browse underneath the video that you're watching. To the left is the subscribe. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. It's not the premium subscription. It's only the standard subscription. It's free for you. It just tells YouTube that you enjoy my videos. So if you would do that, and I'm very thankful for the ones that have subscribed, and hope you continue to watch my videos. To the left, you'll see my channel, my YouTube channel name, which is GFM_RDG. Go down to the playlist Elite Dangerous My Adventures, and next to that is a Play All. So if you hit that Play All button and watch as much of my videos as possible. So until our next adventure, where we go to another station, thank you for watching.